Howdy, everyone. This is part two with Nardia Norman. So we had a brilliant first session, didn't we, Nardia? We dived into not just our opinions of things, but certainly, the last 2 years has brought tremendous change in this industry. If we focus in on the fitness wellness industry, in fact, talking about fitness and wellness, there is a more of a converging of science-based, more of converging of, like, as you pointed out in the previous episode, differentiating oneself from the noise of just superficiality. The Instagram, all of that social media stuff is kind of can be like that cheap motivation. It can kind of get people going, but it doesn't give them the roots into the ground. It's really superficial. So what we're dealing with here is now we're going to go into a little bit deeper levels of questions based around, from your perspective, of course, Nardia, around where you see not just the industry shifted, is what we discussed in the first episode, but kind of what trainers now, what coaches really are looking for in terms of enhancing their knowledge identity. So one of those questions to that end is, what do you feel trainers want most when looking to invest in their education?
Well, this is such a great question. I can only go off my observations of my students in the last 2 years and what they've mentioned. Because of the subject matter that I'm teaching, I think it's a lot easier for women personal trainers to come and do it because they want to know more about their own body. And I have found that in the past that perhaps trainers who didn't get the depth of information at the RTOs, or they did, but they kind of forgotten about it, want to refresh that information and really want to learn it at a deeper level for their own selves personally and how that plays out in their bodies. So then also that can be transferred to their clients in the way that they do their business. I think trainers, the savvy trainers, are, as we mentioned in the first episode, looking for information that's not just nice to know information. It's information that's applicable information. And I think anyone can talk information and give information to people, but I don't think that's really helpful. That's just information. Wisdom comes from the application. So I think there's a lot of trainers, especially the ones who might have been in the game for a lot longer than usual, and the other ones that have stuck around post-COVID anyways, is that they value growth and they value development and they value taking their learning to a much deeper level. So that might not necessarily translate to, I want to know all the things about everything. I think a lot of trainers, in my experience, are wanting to go deeper in the things that they do have. And so they're looking for courses that can offer that up. And then coming at this from a different perspective, perhaps, trainers are now starting to, they want to do something different in their business. Perhaps they have been working with one particular niche for a really long period of time and now they're bored or they want a new challenge and they want to learn something completely different, right? When I first started out, I was all about fat loss and then I switched to all about rehab. And now I'm over here doing more hormone type stuff. And, I think as a trainer, it's really important that you do go through these personal evolutions in your business so that you don't stay stale, so that you keep growing. And also so that you stay interested to stay in the industry. So, I would like to hope that not every trainer is chasing a CEC. And I think that's a very clear qualification that I have. Like, if you're chasing a CEC, this course probably isn't for you. All right, go do something somewhere else. But if you really want to get a depth of knowledge and understanding, then 100% come and do my courses.
Yeah, perfect. Well said. Yeah, it is really, and we discussed offline, so to speak, that maybe there is this this sort of program type where you've got folk who come into the industry, right, and they think a Cert 4 is enough, and the mentality may be that I'm going to make a quick buck. It's easy to make $80, $100 an hour, kind of getting people toned and what have you, and so therefore perhaps the mentality is, I've learnt from a mentor on this thing, I've watched a bit of YouTube here, I've watched an Instagrammer kind of give me some tips, but in fact, we want to kind of go that step further where there's an appreciation of going deeper, as you said it, into that particular skill set that coach wants to learn to enhance their coaching expertise. So I think whether there's an evolution or an awakening around that versus just a being content around knowing a little bit and not investing is a big difference between those trainers, those coaches who go out there not to learn not just everything, but as you said, it could be certain evolutions in their understanding, i.e., what you shared about your journey, going from fat loss to rehab. And all of this is great because it informs you as a coach, and it enables you to kind of go, well, actually, I enjoy this stuff. It's actually making good sense for me. And you pursue the best education in and around that. So that's wonderfully said. Now, to that end, I know maybe the audience do know, maybe they don't, but you're on the FitWell platform, which is tremendous. And you're delivering some stellar topics for in and around women's fitness and health on the business stream. But you could talk on many, many topics. So we're looking forward to having you on the platform. Now, from your understanding about FitWell, because obviously you needed to make an informed choice to join us. Just to be clear for the audience, right? So obviously there may be a little bias here, but Jen Nardia needed to make an informed decision, to make sure that it fitted in with her philosophies, and obviously that's why Nardia has come on board. So do you see FitWell then as a platform being able to address some of these issues, some of these challenges perhaps that you've mentioned in and around, trainers, coaches wanting to continue to learn and grow?
Yeah, 100%. I think that the way this is going to be set up, where my understanding is kind of like a Netflix style. So it's very, it's chunkable information, it's quick information, and there's going to be a variety of different streams that you can pick and choose from.
That's right.
I feel like that addresses and overcomes the majority of the education challenges that personal trainers are facing these days, which is the time piece and the financial piece as well, because let's be honest, this is ridiculously good value.
Cheers.
It's ridiculously good value, and it'd almost be a fool not to just do this, right? So, the part of the reason why I decided to come on board with this is there was actually a couple of reasons. One, your reputations precede you as well. So, Tarek, from your end, from all your experiences in the industry, and then we've got Dave who've worked with Level Up Continuing Education, and that's what I've been working with them for multiple years as well. So to me, I need to have trust in the people that I'm working with. I need to know that they've got integrity. I need to know that they've got their A game, and I need to know that what they are saying is going to improve the overall product of personal training in the industry. And so you guys tick all of those boxes, right? That was an absolute no-brainer for me. Another reason I wanted to be part of this platform is I'm a huge advocate in this concept of collaboration. I came through the fitness industry where everyone held on to the information. They didn't share their information. Like they were so scared. There was this whole massive scarcity vibe attached to it. Whereas now I'm like, screw that. Like, anyone can get this information, but the way we deliver it is kind of, that's on us, at how, that's unique to us. But I want to be part of other people who are passionate delivering their information in their unique way as well. And I'm a big believer that, you step into a platform like this, everyone's bar, it just gets raised. And so I love collaborating. I'll do anything where I get to collaborate with some other people to raise the bar and awareness and the businesses of other people as well. And, I acknowledge that I have a lot of weak points in my knowledge and also in my business. So to be part of this, where I can go watch some of the gurus and learn some stuff, like that's gold, absolute gold. So yeah, I'm kind of selfish too, because I want to watch it.
It's coming. No, I appreciate that. And certainly we didn't pay you for vouching for us there. But we like to hear it. No, in all seriousness, it's one of the keys for us. Our key values is collaboration. So the fact that was key for your decision making in that integrity piece as well is really wonderful, because on the platform we don't just have one opinion, we don't have one perspective or way of doing things. We've already got over 40 of the creme de la creme in the industry in Australia, New Zealand, also in America, in Northern Ireland, and that's growing. So we're getting all of these perspectives and these experts like yourself delivering in these three different streams: exercise and movement, mental health and wellness, and business and leadership. And so to that end, it is not trying to be the jack of all trades, but bring in the experts that can provide that cutting edge education, and to make it accessible in some cases. So some of this education will be accessible. Some of it, as you pointed out in the first episode, is to really inform and shape how the coach, the trainer, can make small changes in their business, whether that's through their training sessions, whether that's in their business, but it's that application piece. And there's this mentoring with the best of the best on the platform. And that's what we love about it is, can you be mentored by yourself, Nardia? Of course. Do you want to learn more about what Nardia does beyond FitWell? Yes, you can. And so that's where it's key for us, is if people want to go deeper and learn more about you, right, as an expert, great, go and seek your wonderful programs that you have on offer. And I think that's what we feel is the USP, one of the key USPs for FitWell. Now, tell us a little bit about your topic or topics that you're sharing on the FitWell platform.
Well, the first one that's coming to mind is all around what trainers need to know about training women. And it's a huge umbrella topic, but I will be diving into some sort of key areas, understanding what female sex hormones are and the influence that they have on all the systems in the female body. We'll be looking at menstrual cycle health and perhaps some of the red flags that you as a trainer need to look out for. And then I'm definitely going to be talking to you guys about perimenopause and menopause, because this is an area that is trending hard, but there is so little understanding about that. And given that the majority of your clients are probably falling into this 40 to 60 age bracket, I think this is an absolute good English. This is an absolute need to know situation. So that's what I'm starting off with. And then I've got some little business ones up my sleeve for further down the track.
Wow, can't wait for that. I'm just, wringing my hands there. That's going to be tremendous. And of course, it's an ongoing thing, but, you're going to be providing these specialized topics that fill the gap. It's, there are a lot of stuff that even the top level coaches really have a deficit of knowledge about. So the more that we can bring a surplus to that is terrific. And as you pointed out, bridge that gap between ignorance and of course, collaboration's key, and that's what we feel is a win-win platform for all. Now, one final question, I'm always passionate to ask these ones, is how did you find your passion in the industry? Can you just give us a little bit of an insight to that? How did you find your passion and follow your bliss, accordingly?
Okay. Right. How I will answer this probably goes against most of the follow your passion advice that's out there. I have never been one to find a passion and go, oh my God, this is so amazing. Everything's amazing. Everything's awesome. I don't operate that way. The way I find my passion is I look to the things that piss me off the most. So what makes me super angry? What makes me just go, what makes me want to, throw something out there on Instagram and say, you're stupid. That's how I find my passion. And, it's actually quite a good tool to use that, because I think if you're not that way inclined to go that positive route, come back this way, because this is still positive. What irritates you is the thing that's rubbing up against your value set. So how I've landed on this current evolution of really being an advocate for female personal trainers and for women in the fitness space is I was getting pissed off with all the information that I was seeing. Like, I was so sick and tired of people reaching out to me and going, I'm experiencing this, my trainer did this, or I'm now injured because of this, or they haven't listened to me. And I was just building up, which is why I kind of wrote my certification. And in 2009, I myself had a massive health crisis, and that's not a good look as a personal trainer, right? It was to the point where I could not get up out of bed to go serve my 6 a.m. clients. And I was scratching my head. I'm like, I'm doing all the things right. I'm eating really well, probably had too little energy. I'm training really well, was probably training too much. I'm doing all the things that I've been taught to do about training my female body, or training my body, and here I am not able to get out of bed. And it was that health crisis that got me to reach out to a functional GP. And together we started unraveling and unpacking what was going on in my body. And it was that point in time, and coincidentally, I happened to give her Cert 4. Together we started going, well, hang on a minute, what are you being taught in your degree or in your RTO? And I'm like, we're not taught much about this sort of stuff. So she took me on a journey of understanding the female body from a hormonal perspective. And we came together, and I was like, right, this is the stuff that trainers need to know. Like, I did a degree, I did postgrad papers. Like, how come I was never taught any of this stuff? And it was that catalyst that got me deep diving into female physiology. So it was kind of my own health crisis and me getting really annoyed at what I was seeing in the gym. And also me not having the tools to be able to fix the things that I saw going wrong.
Yeah. So also
So
wasn't one thing. Yeah, it's terrific.
it's kind of like multiple things that just all came together. And then I was just so sick of it. I was just kind of like, and this is what I did. I threw it out there. I'm like, to my audience, who wants to know about training women? Like, do you guys want to know about your menstrual cycle? And everyone was like, yeah. And so I built a certificate off that.
Terrific. It's amazing, yeah, to have those mentors, and then you can collaborate with them, which it sounds like you have done there. And the key here that's come from that is what do you stand against? That's sort of what has sort of fueled you, not pointing or judging by the sounds of things, but just going, this just ain't right, you know, and going, I stand against that, not against that person or necessarily that organization, but I stand against that. And it's just wonderful where that helps to inform or strengthen your own values. And values, you know, drive decisions, right? Behavior decisions. So that's terrific, and really some good advice there as well. Because sometimes we might say to ourselves, what do we stand for? Whereas we can really be silent. You're okay. You'll be silent or go, okay, that's acceptable. Whereas no, we want to kind of have that sort of that energy to fuel change. And that's certainly what you've alluded to here and experienced. So wow, we could keep going. There's just lots of nuggets there. I've saved this chat. So anyone there, I've just, you know, sort of basically concised everything that you said, most of it. But again, those of you who want to know more about Nardia, Nardia will be presenting on the platform in the coming months. And we really value you. We appreciate you. And we look forward to working alongside you, Nardia, at greater levels, and for you to share your wealth of knowledge to all of the FitWell subscribers. Any final words or advice before we finish off here?
Look, if you're watching all of these different education pieces from people, just know that you're not going to agree with everything. But that's not the point. The point is to just glean some nuggets from every person and think, how can I apply that to my business? Or, hey, this person, what they're saying, I'm actually getting really triggered by them, or I completely disagree. Yes. So think critically about that. So this is not about you just absorbing the information. This is about you also changing the way you think. And that right there, that is completely invaluable.
Wow. Wow, that's terrific. That's wonderful last kind of insights there. So yeah, those of you who've watched this, you can pass it on to other trainers, other colleagues, friends. We want to sort of share this far and wide as possible because we're also very collaborative. So stay tuned for more on FitWell, FitwellEducation.com, and certainly look out for Nardia's sessions. Thank you, Nardia, so much.
Thank you for having me. My pleasure.